What's good, everybody? It is a special Monday today. We got a special guest in the building, Spotlight Podcast. The guest I got today is not only a platinum selling artist, he is a writer, actor, and man, he's part of a group that had chart topping singles, platinum hits, and classics. When I say classics, I mean you played them then and you still playing them now. When you hear the intro, you know what it is. When you hear the harmonies, you know what it is. And what can I say? The group alone, not only did they sing, they danced. And I'm talking about singing was singing, not singing, singing. They could do both. They had chart topping hits such as I'm Not Soup, Sweet November. I mean, All I Do Is Think of You. If y'all know the hits, y'all know what I'm talking about. For those that don't know, the group is true. But here with me today is the one, the only, John Harold. Let's bring him on. Let's get it started. What's good,
Yo,
bro?
yo, yo. What's going on, my man?
Oh, man, nothing, man. Welcome to the show. I just gave you the best intro ever. I want y'all to welcome John Harold of the group,
Man,
Platinum
that
Group,
was
True.
dope. That was dope. What's going on, my man? Hey, how you guys doing? It's your
Oh,
boy Jay
man.
Jizzle, John.
What's going on, man? It's Monday. What you got going on early today? 'Cause I know you in California, so you're a little bit behind from where I'm at.
Yeah, just tonight a rehearsal with the Radio Free Voices. That's KJLH. That's Stevie Wonder's radio station. He has a choir that's a part of his radio station, and we're called the Radio Free Voices. So we have some events coming up. So I got rehearsal with them tonight. Uh, and actually, we have about four songs that are out right now. The first single that dropped was called Plans, featuring an incredible vocalist by the name of Cornell Lamar. Cornell Lamar. I mean, his vocals are incredible. So he leads the song Plans, and then we have um this up tempo that's led by a powerful voice from Los Angeles. Her name is Kimberly Johnson. That single is called No Turning Back. And then the next single that's out there is called Keeps On Making a Way, that features a friend of ours. His name is Trax. He throws down on that. And then the new single that's out right now is called I Know It Was the Blood. It features Troy Anthony and yours truly, myself, John.
Okay. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. Y'all make sure y'all check that out.
Yeah.
See, what a lot of people got to realize is when you're in a group, you do have a lead singer. You may have multiple lead singers, but when you have a singer who has so much to offer, once he or she starts bringing it out, you got to go back and check it out, or you got to open your eyes to something different. And I guarantee you, it'll be a treat
Yeah,
in there if you do it. I promise you that much.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, Man, let's start back. Actually, let's start off back when you was in Pasadena. If I'm correct, you were into basketball and singing was just not on the list.
Man, man. Yeah. You did your homework. You definitely did your homework. You're right. Basketball has always been my first love. And you're right, singing, because I was singing with my mother, my brother, and my two sisters, and we sang as a family, as a gospel family, singing in church, and that's all we did, sun up to sundown. And rehearsals were like, man, like every day. Uh, People who I used to play like football or kickball in the streets or whatever, they remember the ball pausing in the air and looking up and then looking out, not seeing us there because they knew that we were inside rehearsing. So that's how it was, man. We rehearsed every day. We was always singing in someone's church every Sunday. So it's like, who wants to be made to do that? So I ran away from singing and started playing basketball. And I just played ball. I played on 4, 5 different basketball teams at one time, running from singing. Yeah, true story.
So when did it get to the point where you like, you know what? I'm gonna embrace my voice. I'm gonna embrace my talent. I'm going down this path.
That was when, when I met Steve, and we knew each other for a few years, but not knowing that we could sing. I didn't know that he could sing. He didn't know that I could sing. And so when I found out that he could sing and he found out that I can sing, it just kind of seemed to go that route. He was my boy. We grew up together doing Michael Jackson, and him being the dancer that he was, and dancing. Just, I mean, Steve was no joke. He was incredible, man. So to watch him do what he did and to find out that he could sing, it kind of just blew my mind. And so I actually, said a prayer to God, and I told God, I said, God, I like Steve. I think he's real cool. I said, right now we're doing a whole bunch of dancing with these kids here at the Boys and Girls Club, because we would go ahead and turn it out and do Thriller, then we would do Beat It, and then he would go ahead and do Billie Jean and like kill the show. So we were doing that like for a while. But yeah, that's when I said that prayer to God, and I said, God, I like Steve. I think he's real cool. Right now, we're doing a bunch of dancing with these kids. Can you do something with us later on in life? And that's all I said. And pretty much between that prayer and Rodney's mother's dream, I
Mhm.
guess you could say it matched. It matched. So we all pretty much got together and formed Troop after they did the television show Putting on the Hits. And
Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. All of that. Just all of that, you know.
Um,
Yeah.
if I'm correct, whose house was Steve going over? And you kind of was very, and I'm gonna say you tenacious. You was like, yeah, I'm going regardless. I'm going to be there. I'm going.
Yeah.
Whose house was y'all
That
going
was
over?
Rodney. That was Rodney's. That was Rodney's. Yeah, I told him that there's nothing you can do about it. You're gonna be my friend. We're gonna learn from each other. We're gonna be bros. And turned out that we are. We're like the best of friends, man. So and as a matter of fact, I'm helping Rodney out with his solo project right now. He's
Okay.
uh he's working on an EP. He's working on an EP right now, and Rodney is sounding good, man. He's sounding really good. I'm very proud of him.
That's what's up. For those that don't know what an EP is a album with 7 to 8 songs. It's like I don't want to say a sample, but I'm gonna say more of a shorten, if that's more
Yeah.
understandable. Because a lot of people don't even know what an album is, so I gotta break that down.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Um, man, so y'all, you went over, you and Steve go over Rodney's. Now, and then another thing, please explain troop because it actually does mean something. It's just not a word. Break that down for me.
It's an acronym of total respect of other people.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And that's like a hidden message because a lot of people did not have a clue that's what it meant.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Okay, so y'all
Yeah.
formed troop when y'all got platinum and gold's attention. How and y'all actually had an opportunity to talk to him. What was you guys thoughts? What was the energy you guys had, like the feeling?
The energy and the feeling was like sky high. It was like because one of the managers, Steve Cohen, was managing Mary Wells from Motown,
Mm.
so he was working with her. They taken us to go see some concerts to where we met. Um, it was like an old Motown show that was at the Forum in Los Angeles, where we met Eddie Kendricks, man. So it was like we kind of basically knew that we was headed somewhere. But the energy was really high, and it was like we just knew that something special was going to happen for the group.
Okay. When you guys got the deal with Atlantic, what was the first I guess I want to say your first ever check? What did you buy with it?
Shoot, I can't even remember, man. I just remember being out in Minneapolis and we were working with Brown Mark, and our
Okay.
management came. Yeah, our management came over to give us some money. I remember when the first thing that I went and bought was a Michael. I bought the Michael Jackson Bad album. I bought the Bad album. You know, that's like the first thing I bought, man. Yeah, you know, I bought it on vinyl.
Wow. Um.
Yeah,
So when the first time as a group and troupe y'all went to the studio, was that with Platinum and Gold, or was y'all with Atlantic to record the first album?
that was with the first time we went to the studio to do any recording. That was with our production company, I believe.
Okay.
Um, and they, let me see. No, 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 no. Let me take that back. The first time that we went to a studio to do any recording was when it was after when Rodney and Reggie they won the television show Putting on the Hits.
Okay.
And the group had formed after that. When it at that time it became myself, Rodney, Reggie, Steve, and a guy named Shane. And we tried out for Greg Parade. That's the guy who watched the show Putting on the Hits. So we tried out for him, and he put us in the studio with Michael Henderson. We did a song by Michael Henderson, and we did a song by Greg Paré that he
Okay.
wrote and produced on us. So that was the first time that we went to the studio to to record songs.
Um, the first album. When y'all got in
Yeah.
the studio, did y'all have a formula, or was it kind of like, okay, we're gonna put you guys with these writers, we're gonna try to feel the flavor, or do you guys go in like, hey, these are the songs we wrote, we want to mix them in, or this is what we want to do?
I think it was more of a flavor of actually of who we wanted to work with, and we kind of got like the same sound from a producer uh that we got instead of getting the producers that we really wanted. I'm speaking of Chucky Booker, because Chucky Booker had that thing going on like Jam and Lewis. We wanted to work with Jam and Lewis, but the price
Okay.
was so ridiculously high, so we couldn't do that. But Sylvia Rome put us in contact, have us to meet Chucky, and she just signed Chucky as a writer and a producer and as an artist. And she was like, "You guys got to meet this guy if you want the Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis sound. This guy, he has it. He's just like that." And so, yeah, that's in terms of that's he just gave us that formula that we wanted. And when as far as like we're hooking up with Joe Levert, um that was just that was just great within itself. It was an awesome time and for an awesome situation.
Okay. Two-part question. What's it like working with Chucky, and what's it like working with Gerald in the studio?
Well, I didn't get a chance to work with Gerald until the second album, which was the
Okay.
songs for you and Attitude.
Okay.
And it was, man, it was awesome, man. It was really, really cool to get his expertise on, even how to cut vocals, how to, you know be up on the mic, and how to stand far back on the mic when you have to do like some type of like, boisterous with your with your diaphragm, getting a note out there really loud and powerful. So he taught me that. It was just amazing, man, to see him work, you know, to see him work and to see how he worked. It was amazing.
Okay. And what about working with
And so
Chucky?
and so Chucky was just Chucky was a lot of fun because he was near close by us. He was more closer to us.
Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have technical difficulty. We'll try to get my man John back. Let's find out what's going on. But until we can get John back, y'all definitely need to check out John Harold on Instagram and on YouTube, and of course, always follow me at YouTube. Here we go. My guy's back. Boom, getting back in the stage.
Okay,
Hello.
sorry about that. Yeah.
Are you good?
Okay, I guess we're back. I don't know what happened. Um, as far as with working with Chucky, it was a lot of fun. He lived closer, near next to us, so he was always able to get to us, more faster than Gerald could get to us
Okay.
because Gerald, them being from Cleveland, Ohio. So Chucky was like the guy to be like like he was supposed to watch over us, when Gerald wasn't around. But it was a
Okay.
lot of fun being able to work with working with Chucky in the studio and everything. Chucky's incredible, man. He's amazing. He's amazing.
Who produced "Still in Love"? Because that is one of my favorite songs. Who produced that?
Oh, that was Zane Giles. Zane Giles actually worked with a group called Switch and
Hmm.
and some other artists that we know of. Um, I believe that was a connection through the label as well too. They hooked us up with Zane and Zane had did. We did actually a few demos with Zane as well, and just Still in Love was the one that made the album.
Okay. When y'all came out with Mama Sita, it was just like it was totally different.
Yeah,
It had of course, it had a dance to it and a little bit of a sex appeal, but it was just energy packed. I mean, if you haven't seen the video, definitely check it out. But in the video, it was just from start to finish, go, 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 go. Y'all bringing energy, y'all were bringing action, y'all singing, y'all dancing, and
yeah.
like, what was the concept of the video? Because y'all got the True Jackets on, y'all doing y'all thing. Like, who came up with the concept?
The concept was basically, you know, it was all a what do you call it? It was all like a situation where everybody joined in. Steve, his idea was to get Barry Lather. Barry Lather is a choreographer who did Janet Jackson's Pleasure Principle and Control and Nasty on the awards on I think that was the American Music Awards.
Okay,
A really incredible white boy, incredible. He was a serious
really?
dancer, really, really bad. So he helped us. We actually did the choreography together with Mamacita on Mamacita. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, y'all really need to be credited too, because when y'all came out with that song, so many dudes probably put that in a game line. It didn't make sense, and some probably knew how to make it work. Some probably didn't. So you can imagine somebody going up to a chick, "What's up, Mama Sita? What you got going on?"
yeah.
Yeah, y'all need to be credit for that. Y'all adjusted the game with that. Some people started putting that in their rap. I promise you, for real.
Wow.
Um, let's jump to the second album, Attitude. Why Attitude? What made y'all say, okay, you know what? Because when y'all came with the second album, it was a totally different look. The hair, the dressing, it was new attitude. Because I can't lie, the first album, and I gotta ask, how many pillowcases did y'all mess up? Be honest.
First album, man. It
Be
had to be a
honest.
whole bunch of them. I can't even count how high, but I know it was a lot. It was a lot, man. Yeah, it was a lot. And I think as far as like for the second album, I think we wanted a more edgier street sound and as far as performance, we wanted a more
Okay.
edgier all around as far as like everything. Album cover, the way that we dressed, the way that we performed on stage, the way that we sung the songs. I mean, we just wanted a whole different edge.
And y'all definitely brought that. Because, like I said, if people who didn't know, you see both album covers, you like they look alike, but it can't be them, but it's them. It's just they grew older and they swapped a whole different look and everything. Like it was not the same
Yeah,
at all.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
when y'all go in the studio for this one, by now, I guess I'm gonna assume that Steve is writing, he's ready, he got his projects, and it's like, all right, let me take the helm on this one? Or was you guys more like, let's give him a shot?
This is how me, Rodney, and Reggie think. It's like majority rules,
Okay.
and we don't care who wrote a song or who produced a song. It has to be a smash, and we all have to love it. If we don't love it, then it's not going to go on the record. That's just how we thought. So when Steve had did stuff, it was good. It was good enough to to make the album. So he
Okay.
just he knew how we were and what we would have accepted, and so and vice versa. Alan, they knew what we would want. So we just made it like we turned it into business. Like this has to make us all look good because it's not about the person who wrote it or who produced it. It's about the entire whole act. So it's got to stand out for all of us.
I can dig that. That definitely that makes 100%. So y'all come out with "Spread My Wings," and man, the harmony of that one. It was very it was mellow and smooth. It wasn't too over powerful. It was just perfect. How did that come about with "Spread
Yeah.
My Wings"?
Well, a lot of people don't know the story. We actually wanted the song "Turned Away" by Chucky. We wanted that song, and we was trying to get with him to record that one. And we talked to Sylvia about it, and she said, I understand. Yeah, I know y'all love the song. She said, but it's gonna go on Chucky's record, so you guys have to get with Chucky to have him to come up with something else. So we got with Chucky and said, look, man, you got to get back in that lab. You have to come up with something like Turned Away. And that's how he came up with Spread My Wings.
Okay. And that's
Yeah.
a once a group make a song, it's very hard to make a remake. And "Spread My Wings," that's a true song. I just don't see nobody else.
Yeah.
I see people trying, but I don't see people actually
Hmm.
remaking it to the point where you be like, you know what? It can sit next to Truth. It can sit next to their version. I just don't see that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But
Yeah. You're right.
one thing I will say, as a group, y'all are very bold, and you as an individual artist are bold because you guys made some plays that it take I'm gonna say big cojones, pause, to do that, and that's where I'm
Hmm.
going with this next one. Y'all come with "All I Do Is Think of You," Jackson 5 cut. Y'all took
True
that
story.
and made it y'all own. Let's talk
Well,
about that.
it's a story. It's a story about that. The so- to me, the song was just my goodness. The original version was just I can't believe it. How Cole Michael did those leads and how Jermaine supported his vocals. With his
Mhm.
ad libs. I mean, it was just incredible. And so when I first heard that song back in 1975, it was right around the time when they made their move to CBS Records, and I was at a play that um that my cousin was in, and Chip Fields directed the play. Well, she told my mom and my mom's niece, she she said that her daughter Kim Fields was coming,
Okay.
and I just froze. So I met Kim, sweet girl. I went back to the car. My mom let me take the keys to start the engine. And on the radio, I was listening to this radio station called KGFJ. And the disc jockey was coming on and saying that he's getting ready to play this song by the Jackson Five. All I do is think of you. Man, that song came on and it just messed me all the way up. Made me think about Kim Fields all night. I mean, Still does, because that's where it came from. When I first met Kim, I just heard All I Do Is Think of You. So it, you know, I just never knew that I would be a part of a group years later to go ahead and do a song. And yeah, I brought the song to the guys. I said, and this was around the time that groups, people were doing remakes and stuff. And
Mhm.
I said, this is the, if we're going to do a record, this would be the one right here. This would be it. And everybody liked it. And Steve was always talking to Sylvia, having
Mhm.
conversations with her. And he told her, he said, look, John gave us this amazing song. It's a remake. It's not a remake, but it's a song by the Jackson Five. We would love to do it. I guess she said okay, and that's what happened. And Chucky got on it and produced it and did a killer track on it, and rest is history.
Man, and history it was because if anybody ever if anybody when that song hit the radio or you had the cassette or whatever, you literally did exactly what the song said. If you was walking with a girl and you live close, you go take that long way home because you sitting there thinking about her, you excited. So it's like the song is literally
Yeah,
telling you what to do, and you're going to follow every step, every
yeah,
step. Um,
yeah.
Me and you was having a conversation on the phone, and you was telling me about actually meeting the Jacksons and getting for them to give y'all the approval. It was like just phenomenal, like wow. Because I know you guys didn't expect that. Can you tell
Yeah.
that story, please?
The song was just finished at the studio. We just finished doing it, and we had to do an autograph signing like a couple of days later at some warehouse or something like that. So the song, it was just demoed. It wasn't mixed or mastered or nothing like that. So we're uh we're in this car, we're in the limousine, and we're getting ready you know to leave to go back home.
Okay.
And as we're getting ready to leave, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, and Randy, they pull up. So we tell our limousine driver, hey, don't go nowhere. That's the Jacksons. Don't move. Stay right here. So we yelled out and we saw Randy. Randy comes over to the car and he says, yo, Troop, what's going on? Hey, y'all, hey, Troop, what's going on? So we said, listen, Randy, listen. We put on All I Do Is Think of You. And he says, oh my God. He says, Jackie, get over here. Get over here. It's Troop. They're doing our song. Get over here, Jackie. Get over here. Jackie comes over and he listens. We play it for him. And he says, oh, I'm telling Michael. I'm telling Michael. He said, man, you guys sound incredible. So yeah, that's what happened.
So did y'all actually ever meet Michael and he comment on the song, or that kind of was just hope and prayer and never happened?
I didn't. I wanted to surprise him by not saying anything to him when I met him
Okay.
about the song. Because I did meet Michael. I met Michael at around the time when I'm Not Soup came out.
Okay.
The album wasn't mixed, the album wasn't mastered, but the single I'm Not Soup was out. And I met Michael over at Gardner Elementary School when they put his name on the outside of the auditorium. That's where I
Okay.
met Michael. And he was just the nicest guy, man. He was so cool. And he told me about the group and how much he admired the group, and looking at the music, the videos, and watching our dancing. And he said, man, you guys are amazing. You guys are really bad. So I was just really shocked and amazed off of that. But not knowing, a few months later, All I Do Is Think of You comes out and it becomes a number one record. So
Hmm.
hey,
Definitely. I'm not soup. Was that y'all
yeah,
performed that on Arsenio Hall? Was that y'all first time being on Arsenio?
it was. Yeah, it was. That was our first performance doing on Arsenio Hall. Then we took it back and did Mamacita.
Mhm.
Came back again and did Spread My Wings. Came back again. Wait, no. Came back again and did All I Do Is Think of You. Then Spread My Wings. Then we did no, we didn't. We did We did I'm Not Soup. Then we did Mamacita. Then we came back and did Spread My Wings. Then we came back again and then That's My Attitude. No, all I do is
Okay.
think of you, and then That's My Attitude.
Okay.
And then came back again and did Whatever It Takes to Make You Stay and Sweet November. So we performed on the Arsenio Hall like 7 times. There's no other R&B group that's done that.
Right. I definitely want to congratulate you on your y'all success and your success because for Arsenio Hall to fall in love with you guys and you were one of his favorite groups, he was definitely one of the top entertainers or shows at that particular time. And I do remember him
Oh yeah.
saying, this group not only just dance and sing, it's real singing, it's real dancing. And you guys did not disappoint. But for him to, I guess I want to say validate or give his opinion on that. So you had that, you had the Jacksons, you had everything you guys already did on your own. So it was like, sky's the limit.
Yeah. Thank you,
Um,
man. Thank you.
I mean, no
Thank
problem,
you,
bro.
man.
I'm gonna
That's
give
what's
credit
up.
where credit is due, and
That's what's
I'm
up.
a different type of, I guess I'm gonna say journalist because I look at everything, not just what was in, I want to say on the books or the media at that time. I look at everything, every aspect because I know what it takes and what time it takes to put into not just dancing, but to record. Because a lot of people think you go in there, you drop a song, it sounds just like it do on the radio. No, no, it
Yeah,
might be
you're
20
right.
takes. It might be, y'all might do an hour of just harmony or just one part. And then at the same time, it was a such thing as a 2-inch reel that you had to cut and paste. It wasn't
Hmm.
no, button and take. No, it took time and people don't understand that. So I got to give people their
Yeah.
credit because, yeah, you put your time in. Um, all I do is think of you. You guys are burning on all cylinders with that song. I mean, you got the background vocals on time. You got the harmony is on time. Everybody contribute, and it's so. That's one of my favorite songs till to date because, like I said, it's burning on all cylinders. You get
Wow.
everything you want. I mean,
Wow.
I will always
Wow.
love you, and it is cold. And then as the song start kind of toning down, y'all harmonizing, y'all tone down with it, and then it's back up. Like you cannot miss with that song. If you can't get a slow dance off that song, you're just a lame. I'm sorry for you. I'm just gonna be honest about it. Cole, how did that come about, man?
What? I Will Always Love You.
Yes.
It was just a song that was produced and written by Joyce Irby. Actually, Steve has some writing credits on that song as
Really?
well too. Yeah, so the writers were Joyce Irby, Steve Russell, and Dallas Austin. And
Wow.
yeah, man, it was really cool, man. And for me, it was how I was basically being launched out at being like the third lead singer of the
Okay.
group at that time because it was a song that wow, man, how can I put it? Well, Joyce was talking to Steve and telling Steve like the bridge music. She told him, she said the bridge music requires a low tone voice. Is
Okay.
there anyone else in the group who can get down there? And he said, well, yeah, John can get down there. John can get down there. So she made everybody leave and go home and just want to work with me.
Okay.
And she had this studio really dark. It was black, man. I couldn't see anything in there. She couldn't see me. All I could see was a lyric sheet stand, the lyrics, a little
Mm-hmm.
light that was down on a piece of paper that I could read, and the microphone and headphones. That's all I could see. So she told me to sing the 2 lines. She started the music and she counted me in, and I started singing the lines. And then she stopped the music from playing, and I asked her, I said, "Is everything okay?" Then she turned the light on, and I said, "Is everything all right?" She said, "Yeah, I'm just trying to see that Johnny Gill is making a guest appearance on Troop's record."
Facts, facts.
Pretty much the rest is history. That's how I was able to go and work with Steve and Alan to work on the songs for you and Attitude.
Right, right. Man,
That's how
definitely
that went down.
shout out to Dallas Austin, Joyce Irby, that is
Yeah.
Climax for y'all that don't know. And
Yes,
Steve,
sir.
oh my God, man, Steve is amazing. And what's funny about that
Oh yeah.
song, who came up with the da 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 da? Because it blends in so
I
to the point,
that was
like,
Steve.
man.
That was just all Steve. That's Steve thing, man. He just do what he does, man. That's him. I know that's him. I know Joyce didn't tell him to do that. I think he just came out and just did it because he would do something like that. That's Steve, man.
I mean, yeah. Because, like I said, with that song, it's one of them songs you don't know what's next. As he doing that, and it comes with the day and night. And they're like, what? Like, it's giving more and more and more. Like, oh, yeah, we got to
Yeah,
rewind that one time, put that on, man. That was it.
yeah,
What was it like being on tour with After Seven and everybody?
man. It was a party every night, man. Because you had Easy E and Dr. Dre. They was coming out, hanging out with Michelet, and they would announce. They would bring Michelet on, but they would tell everybody where the hotels were. So it was crazy, man. It was parties every night, man. It was really cool, man.
That's what's up. I mean, because
Yeah.
at that time it was a lot of competition. So I gotta ask, who was Troops competition? Whether it was friendly or real, who was Troops competition?
Everything was friendly with us because we loved everybody.
Okay.
It didn't we didn't have any nobody had really any you know quarrels with us, and we didn't have any quarrels with them. We just liked everybody.
Okay. Um, One of our viewers said, "Great interview. Love their songs."
Thank you. That's what's up.
So we move on to the third album, Deeper. Who came up
Deeper.
with the concept and title?
I think the title came up from, it was either Steve or Alan who came up with the title for Deeper.
Okay.
Um, and we just wanted to go more deeper into everything: music,
Okay.
vocals, choreography, uh, street. We just wanted everything to go that much more harder,
Okay.
from Attitude. And don't forget, right before the Deeper, we had the soundtrack to New Jack City.
Facts. Yes. And y'all was in the movie. So
Yeah.
what was that like
Yeah.
to be on the set? And did you guys actually sing with Levert, or was you in two different studios?
We worked in the same studio, but just at different times. And
Okay.
so when they did the film, yeah, when they did the filming, they just switched the filming.
Okay. So when y'all was on set, y'all sitting there singing, and I ain't gonna lie, they threw y'all. Everybody had on the velour outfits, like they had everything to a T for that time period. I got
Yeah,
to say that. And what
yeah,
was that like for y'all? Was that because that had to be y'all first movie, right?
yeah, yeah, yep,
So what was it like
yeah.
standing by the trash can? You got and the way they set it up for people who don't know, that's like an old doo wop thing. You outside, you're on the corner,
See,
or you standing by a trash can singing.
that's where everybody gets us mixed up. No, they show Troop in front of the Carter building in the daytime. When it switches to nighttime, you see
Okay.
Levert standing around the trash can. So Levert is around
Uh,
the trash can.
okay.
Yeah,
My mistake. My
that's
mistake
that's
on that
not
one.
yeah, that's not Troop. Yeah, yeah, that's Levert.
How long were you
But
guys on
I, I,
set to
I
film
I
that?
like, but I do like how they put everything together, how they spliced the vocals together. That was
Okay.
awesome. With I think um that was Rodney's cousin, Vasal Benford. Him
Okay.
and another guy who he worked with on the track. They put that together. and added Queen Latifah. But we was there probably on the set maybe for a few hours, something like that.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
what was your reaction to see yourself on the big screen? You seen yourself on TV. We talking about the
Wow.
big screen now.
Yeah, man, that was incredible, man. I think I went to the music to the movies about 6 or 7 times to see that. That was, man, that was crazy.
How did
Just
you
to
How
be
did
able
you
to
do it
watch
though?
ourselves. Huh?
How did you do it when you went to the movies? You had security. You snuck in. You had a hat on. How did you do it without somebody like that's John John right there?
I don't even remember. I probably got seen like maybe after the movie started. I mean, like after
Okay.
the movie ended, like when it ended. But just being there, right when when you hear the guy say when when the lights dim down and you hear the guy say, "You're now about to witness the sound of street knowledge," and then that's when I walked in.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it was
How
dark by
did
then. Yeah.
your How did your siblings take your fame and everything you got going on? Because again, they grew up with you. They see you playing basketball. They knew you could sing, but now their friends have your albums and posters on their wall, and then they're going to the movies to see you, or they like, hey, I seen your brother on the big screen. I seen your brother at the cinema.
Hmm. Yeah, it's cool, man. It's really cool, man. I hear
So they,
stories from my older brother and my sisters, and they was telling me things. It was pretty cool, man. And from my nieces and nephews, just to hear stories from them.
that's what's up. You're a humble guy,
Yeah.
man. I definitely got to say you're very humble because anybody else would have been either had a arrogant story or would have this that. You're very humble. Like you take it all in stride. Like, hey, it was just my job. It was business. It was cool.
It was cool. I don't like to like really take it as business, but it is.
Uh,
But at the same time, I find it very, very, very humbling because we're just like anybody else. We have our good days, our bad days, and a
mm,
lot of times the fans can really make our day. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we could be feeling a certain way or feeling about something, and then someone will go ahead and talk to you and tell you about your history and how much and about how much they admire you, and it's pretty cool, man.
okay. Let's fast forward a little bit. Um,
Okay.
as time went on, Troop had a downtime. What was you doing during the downtime when things wasn't as sweet as they should have been, or changed because of situations? What was you doing? What was John John doing?
We're doing the downtime before the Deeper album came out. It was a downtime. It was like 18 months of litigation, and we were going through with our leaving our management, signing with a different management company, and so it was a lot going on at that time. But the downtime, it was just focusing on working on the album, and I
Okay.
was, I was hanging out with my family at, when I had the time to hang out with my family, and and hanging out and going to Magic Mountain and Disneyland and all that type of stuff. Just hanging out with the family, because I had that time to. And because once the record is released, it's back on the grind, and it's like you just have a lot of work to do. So I
Okay.
always knew that that time would be coming back for us to get back together. So I just did a lot of spending time with family and stuff like that.
Okay. Um, as the 2000s come around, '05. When did the point? Where did you guys stay in communication, or was it kind of like? Because a lot of people, as they get older, they kind of separate a little bit, then have to be brought back together. Was that one of the situations with Truth where you all stayed in contact, and then it was finally like, you know what, it's time to get back in the studio? Or did Steve come with that song that just lit a fire up under you guys?
It was a little bit of everything. Both Steve came up with fire with some songs or whatever. But we always still stayed in contact with each other. We
Okay.
always just checked on one another and see how everybody was doing. We at least did that.
Okay. You guys did a Christmas song, Santa Can You Help Me? Why did it take so
Yeah,
long?
I
Huh?
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I wish we would have done a whole entire album. I was just thinking about some things about, the NE crew, New Edition, is that they're probably the only group that I could say, and maybe um the Force MDs, maybe them, are the only group that will probably that has performed on American Bandstand and Solid Gold. And
Mm.
we missed those times and we missed those years. And New Edition has done pretty much everything other than that time than to go solo. So they had did everything. They had did everything in a short span of 5 years. They did they did it all except for going
Right.
solo. So that's the thing that I would have loved for our group to do as well.
Okay.
Um, but we didn't get that chance. We could have. It was talks about it, but for whatever reason we couldn't, stay together to be able to do that. Um, but it's been a great ride. We're still riding. A lot still going on. We have new material that's out there now. We're still doing concerts.
Hmm.
Solo projects are out there. There's a lot going on. We're just trying to put everything together and keep the workload going on for Troop as well too.
Okay. Let's talk about John as a solo artist because man, you got that like I said, we was on the phone talking. You got the early Johnny Gill voice, that Stacy Lattisaw time, that perfect combination, and then at the same time you got a little bit of Luther, big Luther, not little Luther. I gotta be honest on that one. And then Philip Bailey, like really, like that creeps in there a little bit. People probably heard that name in a long time, but you got all that mixed in
Yeah.
one, and I'm like, why wasn't his voice utilized a little bit more? And then when you came out with Girlfriend, it was like, okay, that's John John. What made Girlfriend come about, and who was the mastermind behind that? Because the sound, that's not true. That's literally John John. That's not usually
Yeah.
somebody come out and be like, okay, let's stick to the formula. You decided to go different. Why?
It was really this guy named Dennis Cooper, call him D Cooper, was really all his idea. He actually recorded the song first. He read it. He wrote it with a friend of his, and he was telling me one day. He said, "Man," he said, "You right. This song does sound pretty cool with me." He said, "But I just imagine your voice singing this record, man. If you sung this record, man, it would really do something. Like I think that your voice really fits this track, and I think you should really sing this." I just said,
Okay.
"Okay, I'll do it." And it ended up it got overseas. It went number 9 on the soul charts, on the soul
Okay.
R&B charts, Billboard charts overseas. It went number 9.
Okay. And what about Cover Girl? Because Cover Girl is very poppy. Like it's like one of them songs
Yeah.
that you can play on a runway, or you can play at a
Mm,
party, or you can play. It'll fit anywhere, except of course for like a I guess I want to say romantic night. But it's very poppy. It can fit anywhere, and any race can get behind it. Any race can enjoy it. It's not considered. It can't. It's like it's not just soul. It's not just R&B. It's not electric. It's like it's just fun. If that makes sense.
yeah.
How did that come about?
Cover Girl is pretty much the same as Girlfriend, kind of like a favor, buddy of ours that we know, that the group knows. His name is Marcus Buchanan. He was the guy that was in Rodney's car when we were shooting the music video, Whatever It Takes to Make You Stay. Rodney had
Okay.
this singing group in the back of his car. They were called BI, Bad Impression. And Marcus is one of the guys that's in the group. He wrote the song Cover Girl. He wrote it for somebody else, but they wasn't keeping up. Uh, they were having some issues with them, with themselves. So they didn't want to go ahead and do the song. So Marcus asked me to go ahead and do the record, and I just did it. I just did it for Marcus, and just another song to add to my repertoire to let people know that I'm not sitting and I'm just I'm working on the craft and using the gift that God gave me. That's basically it.
Okay, that's what's up. For people that don't know, yes, John John was in Coming to America. I'm not gonna tell you where he was. I know
Yeah.
where he was at, but he was in there. And you did
Yeah.
plays too, man. How many different plays have you done?
I think I've done about maybe 2, 3 plays. Um, One's called The Barbershop out of Philadelphia.
Okay.
This one called I think the first one was called, oh man, and it was written and directed by Roy Fagan, the
Okay.
guy from Five Heartbeats. I played that he had did. Oh wow, Treat Her Like a Lady. That was the name of it. It was called Treat Her Like a Lady. And Red was also in that play as well too. Uh, I think Red was in that play. No, yes, he was. Was Red in that? No, Red was in the barbershop. Red was in the
Okay.
barbershop play. He was in that play.
You talking about Red from Five
So did that.
Heartbeats?
Yep.
he,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
he didn't get you by the
Yeah.
window, did
So
he?
that's my guy, man. That's my guy. Cool dude. Real cool dude. Yeah. So it was cool working with him too. It was fun, man. Um, and I think this last play, 99 and a half, just won't do. That's written and directed, produced by James Johnson. James Johnson is from Mama I Wanna Sing. He was the musical
Okay.
director for that play called Mama I Wanna Sing that had Cheryl Pepsi Riley in that play.
Haven't heard that name in a while. Wow, long
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Man, I gotta ask this because I know a lot of people don't know, or if they do know, nobody's ever asked. But you decided to remake a song that a lot of people wouldn't have the nerve to do or the heart to do, but you did it, and I heard your version, and it's dope. And that song is "Never Too Much" by Luther. I mean, bruh, what made like that's why I said Truth is very tenacious, as well as y'all take bold steps. What made you decide to go in that booth, do that song? Because again, when certain groups or certain artists make a song, some people can't touch it. Just leave it alone. Don't even do it. But you touched
Yeah.
it, did a good job, left your mark, and put your own flavor and touch to that song. What made you do that, man? How did that come about?
Oh man, that came about. I was supposed to do the song. Steve actually was supposed to do the tracks, Never Too Much, but he got busy. So he couldn't. He couldn't do it. And this guy that I work with, his name is Damone Arnold. Which Damone Arnold is the one who did the track for Never Too Much, and he did Girlfriend. He also
Okay.
did Fragile. He did the song Fragile. Song I Love L.A. And I think there's another one that we did that's out there. Oh, the Love Section, from the movie that's called The Love Section, that's on DVD.
Okay.
I was over at Damone's house, and we had just finished doing one of my songs called Blessed. And he was like, "So what are your ideas? What do you have? What do you want to do?" I said, "Man, I want to do a tribute to Luther, man. I want to do Never Too Much." And he was like, "What? Really?" I said, "Yeah, I want to do Never Too Much." He rubbed his hands together and he hit a button on his computer, and you can hear Luther all by himself saying, "Too much, never too much, never too much, never too much." And I was like, "Man, what's that?" He said, "This is what we're going to do." He said, "Man, God is a trip," because I was getting ready to get rid of this because I got a lot of stuff on my computer, and I was getting ready to get rid of this. And God told him, he said, "No, you keep that." So he said, "This is what we're going to do. We're going to take Luther's vocals and put Luther's vocals around your vocals. It'd be like Luther singing on your record. So you can actually hear Luther singing his part of Never Too Much in there as well with me."
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, my fault. I did that. Man, like only difference between Luther's version and yours is yours have to have a little more up tempo, just a little more
Yeah.
up
Yeah, I think it's a little
tempo.
faster. Yeah.
Yeah, that was me that did that. But yeah, definitely, it still got the same doom 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 doom. It's just a tad bit up
Yeah.
tempo, and that's nothing wrong
Yep.
with that because I really think if somebody does do a remake, if they can do it exact and do a good job, that's cool. But if they can do the same way but just a little different and still turn out good, that's great. That's great. Like kind of don't
Yeah.
change the
Yeah.
formula too much, but keep it
Right.
on the same playing field.
Right. Exactly. And like I always say, it's all about keeping the legacy alive, and that's what I'm trying to do, man.
If Luther was alive today and he heard this song, what do you think he would say to you?
I talked to um I talked to Marcus Miller. He heard it, and I played it also to for Terry Steele, one of the writers that wrote Here and Now. They're actually crazy about it. They said they
Okay,
know that Luther loves it. So
that's
they
what's
get the
up.
stamp of approval. Yeah, so get the stamp of approval from them, and they worked with Luther. Then hey, I I did what I could. I did the best I could.
I mean, you did a great job. I mean, for real, because after
Thanks,
I
man.
heard it, I thought about it like, you know what? You might as well tackle either Fairweather Friend by Johnny Gill or just something in that manner. Why not?
Hmm.
For
Yeah.
real. Um, Man, then you guys, Troop gets together again. Y'all dip back in the Michael catalog. Y'all come with Lady of My Life. Again, another bold
Yeah.
play, bold move, and you guys knocked it out the park. Let's talk about that.
Well, see, that's where it all comes from. When I very first heard Steve sing, that's the song that I heard him sing on the phone to this girl. He was singing "Lady in My Life," my mind was blown. I was like, "Whoa!" Like, bro. So now, so if you think about it, it makes sense. I heard him
Okay.
sing the song, to a female over the phone, and I thought I thought that it was amazing, and so now, again, to be a part of that, it's like wow, and that's where I first heard Steve. When I first heard him sing, that's what I heard him sing.
Okay. That's what's up. When you talk to Steve, tell Steve I know he still got that jacket in his closet. He think he's slick. He still got that Michael Jackson
The black,
jacket.
the black and silver one, I know he do. Oh yeah, he do. It's somewhere.
It's the
That
original
I
too. It's
know
not
he
a
didn't.
remake. It's not a remake.
Nah, that's an original right there. That I know he did not get rid of. He just couldn't have. I know we get rid of some things or whatever, but some things,
Uh-huh.
I still have my troop jacket. I
Really?
still, I still, I still have my jacket that I wore on the Spread My Wings music video on Top of the Roof. I still got that jacket.
Really?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Wow.
oh
Man,
yeah.
that
And
jacket.
so
Oh, man, I remember that true jacket. I think I had a white one. Man, do you know that's beyond the collector's item? That would if Troop
yeah,
decided to re-release them,
absolutely,
yeah. But man, bruh, you still wear the
absolutely,
jacket, don't you?
yeah,
You still wear it, don't you?
yeah. I can still fit it. I can still zip it up and everything. Yeah,
That's
yep,
what's up. You still got all your
yeah,
platinum plaques and gold plaques and everything?
yeah. I got that stuff up. Yeah, I still have it.
Okay. And I asked
There's
that
some
question.
there's well, see, there's some stuff. I never got my New Jack City plaque, and I never got my, which a lot of people don't know of, that with Troop is singing background vocals on the song Tender Lover for
Okay.
Babyface. So
Oh.
I got to get
Okay.
that plaque too. Yeah, that
Yeah.
Tender
Man.
Lover. That's Troop. Yeah.
Man, call Mario Van Peebles or call Latif and go and get them plaques. Man, I don't know why people playing. For real,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
what is one of your favorite Truth songs to perform?
Hands down to
Yes.
perform. Spread my wings. Spread my wings.
Okay. Why?
Spread my wings. It's the groove. It makes me think about Reggie a lot. He was my click leg guy at the end when we come from that line and jump and separate each other and click at each other's legs. We used to have a ball on that song performing it, man. So that's pretty one of the reasons why it's my favorite song to perform by us. I would have
Okay.
to say probably second. Second will be probably All I Do Is Think of You.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Um. So, what can we expect from John John for the future, or for the rest of 25?
Some more, some more songs. Working with some. As a matter of fact, I got a meeting with my boy Damone this week. Go sit down with him and discuss some music stuff with him. So some more John John material. Absolutely.
Okay. Um. Is it anybody from back in the times you want to work with? Two-part question: is anybody you want to work with back in the times to do a song with, and who do you want to work with in the new era today?
In the new era today,
Mm-hmm.
um, I love this guy, and I'm gonna have to say that even though I think his first album came out in '94, I believe. So he still would be new era to me. That's us Usher. I love to work with. I love Usher, man. Usher's bad, man. Usher is
Facts.
bad. I would love to have some background vocals laced on Usher's project or Michael Jackson, Luther.
Okay.
Uh, I would love to do a tribute. I would love to do a duet with Johnny Gill, of course. And I
Ooh.
definitely, I would love to do that. I
That'd be
would love
cold.
to do that.
That'd be
Yeah,
cold.
it really would be. It would be monstrous. It would be incredible.
Oh yeah,
JG
because
and JG and JJ. Man, that's awesome.
yeah, because whoever produce it and they produce it right and blend
Yeah,
everything, you wouldn't be able to
yeah.
tell who is who. And oh man,
Man,
we got to put that in effect, bro. Yeah, we got to put that in
I
effect.
would love to put that's like, to be honest, that would be a bucket list. And Johnny knows it. I told him. I've
And
told
what
him
do
a
you tell
while
him?
ago. I said I, eh, I don't. It's I call it action and saying, yeah, let's do something and let's book the date, book the time, book
Right.
the session. Let's go. That is my guy. I love all those guys. I love all those New Edition guys. All of them. Johnny is the guy who I studied a lot. I studied
Okay.
him because once he joined the group, it was like, cool. Now I really get to be me.
Right.
And because I used to always do the stuff that what Ricky did. I was always, singing in that tone when really my tone is a heavier tone. So
Mhm.
for me, for now, for Johnny to join New Edition, it's like, okay, this is great. Now I get to go ahead and be me. So it would make sense if you know if the two of us can get together and do a record. I think it would be like I said, it'd be a bucket list for me, but it would be a record that a lot of people would love to hear,
Mhm.
and probably even to turn around and try to do a duet album or something.
Okay.
I think that would be awesome.
Right. I mean, I can definitely see you doing like the Ricky Bell voice, but like I said, you got that baritone, and can't let that go to waste. Let that go to waste at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Um, the song with Brooklyn James. Song with Brooklyn
Yeah,
James.
fragile.
Like I said, man, that's definitely a duet in the making. Because I sat there and I listened to him over and over, and I'm like, it reminded me of Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, Johnny Gill and Stacey Lattisaw. I would definitely
Wow.
try to pursue that because when you get a good duet with a male and a female, and
Hmm.
they can make more than one song. Again, Alexander O'Neal. Oh man, what's her name? Sherelle.
Sherelle. Yeah.
Need I say more? I definitely think you guys gotta pursue that.
Wow. That's dope.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, because when people go in the studio or they sit at home singing, you don't know what it's gonna do. And then when you do produce it or get it out there, yeah, you might get. Of course, you know, you got your critics. You got your, oh yeah, that was a good song. Could have been this. Why not do that? But I'm telling you, it's something there. It's just finding that one song. That one song, as you know, can change the course of history.
It's true. Yes, you can.
I definitely think you ought to do that. Do me a favor and let the listeners and the watchers know how can they follow, how can they locate John John? How can they become a fan if they are not a fan? And if they are a fan, how can they continue to be one?
I could be reached at on Facebook. You can look at my fan pages. John John's solo project, finally. Team John John. There's a troop page up there as well too. It's called We Love Troop. It's in all capital letters with 3 quotation marks in all capital letters. We Love Troop. You can hit me up there. Hey, I could be emailed. JONJOHN of troop at yahoo.com.
And I'm gonna tell y'all this: it is actually him that responds. It's not the handler or the homeboy or the homegirl. He actually responds his own email. I was kind of shocked by that. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, he actually responds his own email. Okay, that's what's up. You know, because
Yeah,
everybody always got
absolutely.
layers to get to the main person.
Right.
What nuggets could you give today's generation who wants to be an R&B singer or just wants to be in the industry? Period.
Um, you have just because this is something that you know how to do doesn't mean that it's really for you. You really got to check with God about the gift, the purpose, the gift that He has for you. Um, and I'll say this: God's purpose and His will and His plan is for you, but you have to do it His way. And if you do it His way, see, there's that word if. That if means you have to choose to do it His way. It's a choice. So if you
Right.
do it His way, then there's no blessing that He will withhold from you. You
Correct.
just got to do it His way. You just have to do it His way. It'll all work out for you, whatever that is. Whether it's a doctor, lawyer, musician, and work on the craft.
Mhm.
Exercise the muscle of it. Exercise it, because muscles get weak, just like your muscles in your body. They get weak. The voice is a muscle. You got to exercise it. You have to exercise. You got to use it. Practice. Work on it.
Facts. Man, like I said, you're always welcome back. You got any new projects you want to promote, any tour dates you want to throw out, man. Anytime you want to get on the show, just give me a call and we can make it happen, man. I definitely
Oh
appreciate you
man,
taking your time to stop by.
I could shout out some stuff that we got coming up right now.
Shoot.
Yeah, Troop will be performing in Vallejo, California, June the 14th. June the 14th.
Okay.
The next day I have to be with the Radio Free Voices here in Los Angeles at Miracle Theater. Um Radio Free Voices, we're performing at a concert. I think that's at 7:30 at the Miracle Theater in Los Angeles, California. Then you have, but then like before that, May the 24th in Las Vegas, I'll be performing uh, with this crew called Celebrate a Legend, and I'll be
Okay.
paying a tribute to none other than the greatest vocalist of all time, Luther Vandross. That's May the 24th, Saturday, May the 24th in Las Vegas at the Ahern Casino in Las Vegas. Just look up Celebrate a Legend. You can get your tickets on Eventbrite for Celebrate a Legend. Um,
Okay.
then you got July the 19th, Troop will be performing in Toledo, Ohio. And I believe September the 20th will be performing in North Carolina. So
Okay.
if you look me up on all of those social medias, you got John John's solo project finally, Team John John, and We Love Troop. All that on Facebook. You'll see all of that stuff.
I can dig it. I can dig it. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna let y'all know a little secret. And this is for the old. This is for the older crowd. And then for the newer crowd, y'all can go find it. If you go back in time, it was an album called Blood and Crips, Banging on Wax. And my man
Ooh.
John John has a song on there. And man, the voice, the passion behind it is dope. And what's funny is
Wow.
I played that album to death and never knew. And then as me and him had conversations, I'm like, wow. What's the name of the song, John John?
Oh, Bullets Don't Have No Names. Wow, man. Yeah, that's the first song that I recorded outside of the group.
That's what's up, bro. But you know what?
Yeah, Bullets
Were
Don't Have
you
No
were
Names.
you nervous for that? Being pretty much by yourself and not having your bros around you.
Well, probably not that part, but I was just nervous in recording the song because, like I told you, the song was supposed to be for the group The Originals.
Right.
That's the Bells, Baby I'm For Real. But I guess for them cutting into the studio time, the guy Ronnie Marlon Phillips, he asked me
Mhm.
to go ahead to record the song for the rest in peace to Ronnie. Yeah, he asked me to record the song for the album, and that's what I did. That's what happened.
That was good. That was dope. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret, and people don't know this. I was a six-member troop. They used to let me practice with them, and then they wouldn't let me be in the video. Like for real. If you look in the video, you see somebody in the corner. That was me for real. For real. They just kept me out the way. They want the. They. I was too light skinned. Oh man. This is one of my funnest
Wow.
interviews, man. I definitely appreciate you taking your time. And it looked like you were on a run, like you're doing something big. Man, you might take that troop jacket and take my address, put it in the box, send it my way, bro. You're not gonna do that. I'm gonna get that up. I'm gonna put it in the bag, put it up in the thing. You might as well let me have that. Man, that's our
Man.
time. I definitely appreciate you. Like I said, anytime you want to come back, anytime you're working with a group, a new song, hit me up. You got my number. Stay in contact, bro. We're gonna make it happen,
You
man.
got it,
Definitely.
fam. You got it, fam. Thank you, my Ron. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you,
Oh man,
man.
no problem.
Thank you
Man,
so much
anytime.
thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
Hey, listen. Like I said, believe it or not, when we got on the phone, I was like, John, truth. You know what I mean? Females I used to talk to with this song playing in the background. I'm on the phone, man. I'm gonna be honest with
Wow.
you, man. But
That's what's up, man.
stay in contact, man. Tell the rest of the fellas I said what's up, and we
You
go
got it,
from there,
fam.
man. Be
You got
safe.
it, fam. We'll do. Yep, you too. I'll keep you posted.
Thank
Peace.
you. Peace.
Yeah.
Listen, great interview. John John's a down to earth, good person, a good brother. Definitely a lot of accomplishments as a group and as a solo artist. I need to check out all of this stuff on YouTube and the other deals that he's been in and movies, as well as if you're not hip on Truth, get hip. I promise you, you will not be disappointed, and it might help you game with your chick, or it might get you further than when you want to go with your chick. But definitely, that's good classic music. Definitely love it. Still play today. It's in my playlist. I appreciate all the people that watched. I appreciate the people that's going to watch. Stay in contact with John John. He left y'all the information, and man, of course, follow me, Rain Spotlight 4977 on YouTube. Instagram and Facebook is Rain Rockstar, and on TikTok it is Rain underscore 4977, and on Twitter X it's Rockstar Regime. Got all kind of stuff. Had new episodes. Man, new short films from IR Films. Shout out to Doobie B and IR Films. We got short film out now, me called Bounty Hunters, and we're working on another one. I just was on a set on about a week ago. Stay out for that. Other small acting roles going. Shout out to Zip Mouth Motivation and Zip Mouth Podcasting. Oh man, and Imperial Radio is still coming. We're just trying to work out some things. Just got to be patient, and hey, y'all gonna see me in the stars, and I promise y'all, we're gonna keep bringing y'all the content and things y'all want to see. If y'all got any questions or people you would like to see on the show, hit me up. We're working on a lot of new things, a lot of new interviews coming. I gotta go. I got places to go, people to do, and things to see. I thank y'all for watching me. I am Rain Rockstar, the host with the most, Mr. What He Go Do Next, Funky Fresh in the Flesh, and I'm gone.